race number 1 here this week and your thoughts?
I'm going to get him at some point. I'm very determined, but a hell of a race. Our cars were, I think 3 of us could easily swept the top 3 there, but Pato did an awesome job. Our cars were just really good through traffic, and what I learned with Josef during the week, during the last couple of weeks, has been huge. So yeah, it's a nice little rabbit to chase when he's out in front. And you know what he's doing. You can keep up with him. That's a nice feeling. So it gives me a lot of confidence. Learn a lot for tomorrow, and I think we've got a really good race car that we can sort of evolve with and just get better.
Pato, your thoughts getting back on the podium here at Iowa Speedway?
Yeah, solid podium for us today. Just we didn't have anything for the Penske's. We need to take a solid step forward if we want to make them sweat tomorrow. I just think they were specifically strong getting through traffic. I'd get stuck. I wasn't able to really place the car where I needed to in order to get by some slow cars. So yeah, obviously happy with it, but considering how much pace we had here last year, I guess it was a bit kind of like, where is it?
You guys were catching up. Last thing, we open up questions. You guys were catching up quickly to back markers, lap cars, and whatnot. Mentally, what's that like to go through, a couple hours or so where you're really trying to weave in and out of cars and dealing with traffic all day long?
Usually it's quite okay. I mean, you kind of know who you're racing. Obviously, sometimes you get to some guys and they just they're not very gentleman-like, I guess, when you're following behind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had some moments in there where it wasn't all turning left for sure.
1,502 passes on track, which is the most on record here at Iowa Speedway. IndyCar sort of tracking that back in 2007, so there's a lot going on out on the 7/8 mile oval. Let's go ahead and open up for questions in person. We've got a couple of microphones, and we'll start here with Nate, and then we'll go to Wolfgang after that, and Bruce.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports, one for each. Pato, so do you have enough time in the warm-up tomorrow, and can you do enough to make enough changes to catch up to the Penske guys and be better track?
I know I have a very clear picture of what we need. We just gotta get creative and see how we're gonna find that. Obviously, we put our best foot forward coming into qualifying into the race, knowing that kind of what we've had here in the past, and it's like, well, we think this is gonna be working for us. But yeah, we need to take another step if we want to challenge for the win tomorrow.
And Scott, you were telling us yesterday that like Josef had opened up the playbook and showed you everything, but you thought there might be some things maybe he didn't show you. Like, do you feel like you got like the full money from Josef?
Yeah. No, I definitely think he's opened it right up, but which is good because I think it's pushed us all three. Us three were really, really strong during that race. It's something to be proud of for the team. So, but yeah, I'm a little bummed the second last stint we just didn't have the balance that I needed. If I had the balance that I had in the last stint, and I was able to stay with him, I really feel like we could have been right there with him and made some moves. When I was catching him towards the end, I'm like, oh, this could be like a little Texas rerun, but it's the other way around. But yeah, didn't quite get there. But he's very good on this place. He's got a very good understanding of the car and where he puts it. But yeah, I think he was getting choked up a little bit. There's a lot of guys out there that were racing the leader very hard, mirror driving, and just at times it was quite dangerous. So yeah, it is what it is.
That was one of the first things that Josef mentioned in this Victory Lane interview, so I'll give you guys the opportunity. Are we naming names in terms of who some of these drivers are?
Not in the media, but we'll go see him tonight.
Wolfgang.
Same question for two drivers for you both. How was the tire situation, and can you reduce maybe the tire degradation with camber and with pressure? Can you change camber?
Look, my engineer gets paid to, figure that out, so I'll just drive the thing. But I think, we definitely need a little bit here or there. I think all three cars in Penske have strengths and weaknesses, so we'll sort of try and make up a sort of special sauce for tomorrow. Yeah, I thought they brought a new tyre this weekend from Firestone. Feels really good. No vibrations or anything, so that's a really good sign.
Bruce, go ahead. Then Chris.
Scott, first portion of the race when Will was leading and you tried a couple of times to go underneath him and a couple of times were able to pull it off. Was that just basically the strength of his car or was there not, did you run out of room on the track?
Yeah, I think it's just, I probably ran it a little hard. I thought Joseph was further back and then all of a sudden he was 10 back, 5 back and then passing me. So probably burnt my stuff up a little bit too much, but I had to sort of start going for it. I definitely felt faster than Will. But yeah, it was hard, you know, like we were always, you know, one was getting choked up by traffic and, you know, the next, you know, you take one lane and then that lane in front of you had gone. So you can't just wash up in front of the guy or into the side of them. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that was probably one part of the race where I felt, you know, annoyed with myself a little bit.
And Pato, the last couple of years, it seems like it's the same guys that are fighting for the wins and for the victories. How much does it, at least finishing on the podium, validate how good you are here?
I mean, absolutely. It's one of the places where you know, we come in here and we know that we've had a very good past here. It doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna have the exact same results. I think today was a little bit of what we had last year, but definitely not as strong. I mean, last year we had, I felt like we were on par with where Joseph was, and really what makes you lead or be in second in line is usually where, you know, if you can get him on the undercut or whatever. But today I definitely felt like I was a bit more in the defensive. I didn't feel like I was attacking as much, and I couldn't put the car where I needed to. It was a really, really hard race, probably the hardest Iowa race that I've done, just to keep it where we had it.
Chris.
For both of you, the opening green stint was a very long stint. Were you both surprised at how long that was, and was there ever a thought in your mind around halfway that the race could have gone caution-free?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it could have been caution-free for sure. But yeah, it was 60-something laps, wasn't it? I don't know exactly how much it was, but it was getting pretty gnarly.
Yeah, we said in our strategy meeting, you know, the actual probability of yellows is low. There's not really that many yellows here. So, you know, we sort of figured it was going to be like that. But yeah, I was surprised how long that first run to the yellow went. But at least it sort of didn't throw a curveball fuel-wise. Everyone sort of had to make a stop, or I can't remember how many stops we made at the end. But yeah.
Was it very tough physically out there for that first opening stint that long? Because usually you're able to take a small breather under yellows, but not very much.
That was okay. You know, it's the head pad's a wonderful thing. You know, laying your head on it, and you know, you sort of just go with it. But it's more mental. It's just mentally like very like you feel like you're not blinking for 2 hours. It's that's probably more taxing. I'll definitely have a good sleep tonight and come back tomorrow.
Anyone else in person? Let's go online. David Turner, I'm sure you got one for Scotty Mack. Go ahead.
Thanks very much, Dave, and yeah, Nick as well. Scott, just for people that, you know, tune into my podcast and stuff down here in New Zealand, this is the true essence of speedway racing in its purest form on a short track oval like this. Can you just explain what that's like for you as a driver by comparison to anything else the series comes across?
Well, it's a little bull ring. It's probably one of my favourite ovals, you know, bar IMS. You know, apart from IMS, probably my favourite. Just from a perspective of being able to run in different lanes and you know, being able to really control your own destiny with your right foot. You know, it's not just flat out. It's not just, you know, ripping around. It's you've actually got to really think where you put the car. You know, how hard you drive into the corner. You know, you got to think about looking up your tyres at the start of the stint to the end because it's a really nice deck. So, you know, Gateway has a little bit of it, but this one is really, really cool and something I really enjoy having 2 races here. And it also helps when, you know, your car is phenomenal like it has been in the last few years. So, yeah, enjoyed it and glad I qualified up the front both races.
It's mentally very tough too, concentration-wise, isn't it? Because something's happening just rapidly all the time. There's no breathing space whatsoever for you.
Yeah, like I think it was probably 30 laps, 15 at the start and 15 after the restart, where we didn't pass anyone. Like after that, every lap I was passing a car, and that's it's pretty crazy to think about an 18-second lap, but it is what it is, and that's sometimes then at the end of the stint you've got people that are on aren't that quick, but they're on new tyres, so they're just flying through you like a video game, and you feel like a superhero at the start of your stints, that's for sure. But it's it's certainly an awesome place for this car, for this series, and I'm glad we've got 2 races and such a great event.
Well done today, and another bus price 1-2, but it's reverse the fortune tomorrow.
You're telling me, thank you.
David with the plug at the end, very well done. All right, anyone else in person? Otherwise, go ahead, Patrick. Bring that out.
What's the recovery plan?
What's the recovery plan for both you guys?
Beer, any Chesney, or you gonna?
Nah,
Is there a beer with Kenny
I
Chesney?
don't know, man. I'll probably carve up with tonight, and I might have like a little really cold shower. I don't have an ice bath. I'd like to have an ice bath. I think you boys do, but yeah, just cool down, and it's not as hot as last year, thankfully. So just get ready for a big one tomorrow.
How you gonna recover?
Eat.
Yeah. Good plan.
Big deal.
Congratulations on the podium. We'll see you tomorrow. Scott McLaughlin.
Hey everyone, Dalton Hopkins here with Frontstretch.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out one of the 2 videos next to me to see more of our racing content.